Christmas, my mother-in-law brought my husband's mistress, so I took everything back. At Christmas dinner, my mother-in-law proudly introduced a new woman to my husband. And she did it with a smile so smug, I almost laughed. Everyone was whispering, confused, but I stayed calm. I raised my glass, smiled sweetly, and said, "By the way, Helen, the house you're sitting in, it's in my name, not Liam's." The entire room froze. That was the moment they realized they had underestimated me. Hi, I'm Emily, and this is the story of how I discovered my husband's affair, planned by his own mother, and how I served the most elegant revenge they never saw coming. If you've ever been betrayed, if someone's ever made you feel small, hit that like button and get ready, because this is how I took everything back. For most of our marriage, I honestly thought I'd won the life lottery. Liam and I had been together for over 10 years, 4 of those as husband and wife. We built a beautiful home together, shared weekend brunches, laughed until midnight, the kind of love story people post about online. At least, that's what I thought. But over time, I started noticing little changes. Late nights at work, secretive texts, that distant tone he used when I asked if something was wrong. And then came the perfume. Not mine. Not any brand I owned. Just sweet and floral, clinging to his shirt when he hugged me goodnight. When I asked about it, he chuckled. "You're overthinking again, Emily. You know how stressful things have been lately." He always said that. "You're overthinking." And like a fool, I believed him. One evening, Liam was in the shower. His phone buzzed on the counter. And normally, I'd ignore it. But something in me just knew. When I picked it up, the screen lit up with a single message. "Can't wait to see you again tonight. Lily." I remember how cold my hands felt. My vision tunneled, my heart pounding so hard it hurt. I opened the thread, and there it was. Weeks, months of messages, dates, hotel bookings, love you texts. But one line made my stomach drop. "Your mom said she'd cover for us if we needed an excuse." His mother knew. No, she didn't just know. She helped. Helen Turner, my mother-in-law, had never liked me. Not once. From day one, she treated me like I was a stain she couldn't scrub out. She'd smile to my face, but her words always cut deep. "It's so sweet that you still work, dear. Keeps you busy, I suppose." Oh, this house is lovely. Liam must have done so much to make it happen. Every compliment was an insult wrapped in sugar. She came from money, real money, and she made sure I knew it. In her eyes, I wasn't Turner material. I was just temporary. When I found those texts, it all clicked. Helen had introduced Lily, a real estate agent, to Liam at a charity gala. She even described her as someone who really gets you. And now, months later, that someone was sharing my husband. I wanted to scream, to throw his phone at the wall, to call Helen and tell her exactly what I thought of her. But then I stopped. Because something in me whispered, don't give them the satisfaction. If they thought I was naive, if they thought I'd quietly fade away, they were about to learn who they were dealing with. So I smiled, pretended everything was fine, and began planning. Over the next 2 months, I became my own private investigator. I hired a real one too, a woman named Rachel, who was discreet and efficient. Every night, Rachel sent me photos, screenshots, and reports. Hotel receipts, dinner dates, even bank transfers from Helen to Lily labeled gift. Every piece of evidence went into a neat blue folder I labeled Project Evergreen. Because no matter how much they tried to cut me down, I was going to grow back. Stronger. Then I checked the legal side. Our prenup stated clearly that the house, my house, was in my name. My income had covered 80% of the payments. If we divorced, he'd walk away with nothing. And Helen, with all her scheming, hadn't even realized it. Then came the perfect opportunity. Helen's annual Christmas dinner, her pride and joy. I received the invitation later than usual. No warm note, no personal touch, just, see you at 7. That told me everything I needed to know. When I arrived, the air was thick with tension. The lights glittered, the table gleamed, and across from Liam sat a woman I instantly recognized. Lily, the mistress. She was stunning, confident, and clueless. Helen looked like she'd already won. That smug smile told me she believed I wouldn't dare make a scene. And honestly, I didn't plan to. At least, not the kind she expected. Halfway through dinner, Helen raised her glass. "Everyone," she said, "I'd like to introduce a very special friend of Liam's. This is Lily. She's been such a blessing to him lately." My fork froze midair. Liam's face turned ghost white. Lily looked confused, like she wasn't sure what was happening. And me? I smiled. I set my fork down, took a slow sip of wine, and said softly, "Oh, Helen, you always bring such interesting guests. By the way, since we're sharing blessings, the house you're sitting in right now, it's actually in my name, not Liam's. So I hope Lily doesn't get too comfortable." The sound of silence after that. Beautiful. Helen blinked. Liam opened his mouth, but no words came out. I reached into my purse and placed the blue folder on the table. Since we're being honest, here's a little something for you all. Screenshots, photos, even financial transfers. Helen, dear, that's called aiding infidelity. Maybe look it up before next Christmas. No one moved. Lily stood up, tears in her eyes, whispering, "You told me you were separated," before storming out. I looked at Liam one last time. He looked like a child who just realized the fire was real. "Merry Christmas," I said, and then I walked out. The divorce was quick. Liam tried to apologize, cried even, but it didn't matter. You can't rebuild trust from ashes. Helen called too, said it was all a misunderstanding. I let it go to voicemail. Months later, I moved into a new apartment downtown. Bright, minimalist, and completely mine. No shadows of the past. I started therapy, reconnected with old friends, and eventually I met Daniel, a man who actually listens, who respects my independence, who doesn't need to be the hero. For the first time in years, I wasn't surviving. I was living. People always say revenge is about getting even. But that night, walking out of Helen's house, I realized it's not. Real revenge is peace. It's knowing they expected to see you broken, but you left stronger than ever. It's hearing your name whispered at family gatherings and smiling, because they'll never know how calm it feels on the other side. So no, my story isn't about destroying them. It's about remembering who I was before they tried to rewrite me. And honestly, that's the sweetest revenge of all. So if you're listening to this and you've ever been betrayed, take it from me. Don't rush the revenge. Take your time. Plan it with grace. And when you walk away, make sure they're still sitting in silence. If my story gave you chills, hit that like button. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen someone pull off? And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories where karma shows up, beautifully dressed and right on time.